initials on his briefcase?
I'll go look. I gotta change the name.
Hey, how are you? I'm Brian, the mayor. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Kelsey. I just wanted to know if you could send this from here.
Sure. Yeah. Where?
It doesn't matter.
Business card. Hey, how are you? What's your name? Courtney. I'm Brian. The mayor of Madison. One of you lives here, I was told.
Thank you.
Where do you live? Oh, you live in Warren? And you're from Detroit. Detroit. What school do you go to?
Fitzgerald.
Oh, Fitzgerald? And what are you working on?
For government, we need to come here and write paper.
Okay, well, it's hard to understand what we do. So if you look at the agenda, this is a pretty typical meeting for us. So the first thing here is a church is asking for a fee waiver. It costs money to rent our parks. Like if you had like a family barbecue, you would pay like $50 or something. But when a church wants to rent out a park, we say, okay, you don't have to pay. But we actually have to vote on that.
Sure, it's here.
And the next thing is D1, medical marijuana. Sometimes our city police officers will help the county bust drug houses.
Oh, no.
The county will pay us back. That's a couple $1,000s. So we just have to approve the getting paid back. Fee waiver. Yeah, it's just trying to dry stuff, but that's government. For local stuff.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Still,
And you can email me if you have follow-up questions.
sure.
Thank you.
Mayor. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Hey, Brian.
Good.
You have a Zoom open.
Yeah.
What's new? Anything good? Good speech the other day, by the way.
Thanks. It's really a joy of mine.
You're a very good public speaker. That's a very difficult. It's a very difficult thing.
It's like a duck in water. But what's hard is, and I think what's challenging about this speech is, you know, it's like every department kind of writes a little blurb, and then Rosalind kind of sews it together for me. And then I have to, okay, that's out of order, that's out of order. You know, we talk about 10 police things, but
Right.
The Lanfear
the way the staff sometimes reads all about money.
stands for
The public doesn't want to hear about the money, like it has to be people-centered.
Yeah.
So like for the wellness center, the way it was written was all about, we save $30,000.
Do you have your information?
No, we gotta talk about how we're improving the health of our residents.
No, I'm just curious. You might have some students that are part of it.
First up on interview, that's when you guys
Well, SAD stands for
Okay, so I was here that night.
Actually, it's just
Students
Against Obstructive Decisions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been that way.
Okay, good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Glad you mentioned it.
Anytime.
Chief, how are you, sir?
No.
Feel safer knowing you're also with us tonight?
Hi, Jack. How are you? Good. Nice to see you. How are you?
But the one at the end is the long term.
Good to see you.
You're busy.
And a nurse, okay.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good. And if we could
Yeah.
expand it,
Oh,
Yeah.
Hi Emma, how are you? Good, nice to see you. How was your midwinter break?
Good.
Just Monday, Tuesday?
Well,
Just 2 days off?
complaining, I can tell you that.
Some sort of cancer.
Did you relax or did
He said it's going to get
They're
worse
working?
before it gets better. I got to treat it twice a day.
It's got to pay for the addition.
So as someone who works
I could just get rid of the burning and the itch.
Okay.
I can.
you only needed to stay wait from like midnight to
It's like the
5
dark
minutes
spot
later.
today, maybe I had
Don't quote me, Jack. But it's true.
I think there should be a
I know. I hear it all the time.
I call it Super Bowl syndrome. You turn it off before the good stuff happens.
But I want to see a picture of everyone's face before and after for both casts before they do the
I
truth.
hear you.
With commentary.
Good to see you, Corey. Yeah, that's
True.
yes. And you open your mouth early.
Have a good night,
You
Jack.
know what it should be? It should be like the nuclear missiles where there's 2 cards and they have to be
sorry,
sync, you know,
Yeah,
like 2
right.
envelopes, no one has one.
So we have to deal with it like next year is going to be someone with like a briefcase chained to their wrist.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
going to
there
make a
you
huge gag.
Probably need to replace water.
Do you recognize any of that? Still straight up. Do you recognize
Another minute. One more minute, folks.
Dave looks like a teenager down there now.
Yeah.
I'd say, did you fall asleep in the chair?
Good evening, folks. Let's call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of February 27th, 2017. The time is 7:30. Can I please have a roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss,
Here.
Councilman Clark,
Here.
Councilman Corbett,
Present.
Councilman Gettings,
Here.
Councilwoman Scott, Councilman Soltis. Here. Mayor Hartwell.
Yes, I'm here. Can I please have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Scott from tonight's meeting?
Your Honor,
Yes?
so moved.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Mr. Soltis?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. All right, will you please rise if you're able for an invocation and remain standing if you'd like for the Pledge of Allegiance? We thank God for having given us the opportunity to meet together here today, and we ask most humbly for a blessing of our gathering. Brighten our eyes with greater understanding, enrich our hearts with compassion and courage, and again receive our gratitude for this opportunity of fellowship. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Thank you. We'll skip ahead. We don't have presentations or public hearings. Reports on agenda of interest to parties and audience. Okay, meeting open to the public. If anyone would like to address City Council on any subject, now is the time. Meeting is open to the public. Come to the podium. Meeting open to the public. Would anyone like to address us? Okay, thank you. We'll close that. First order of business is C1, a communication from Gospel Life Church. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor. Gospel Life Church, along with a coalition of churches in Madison Heights, is scheduled to use Civic Center Park and Pavilions A and B for an Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 15th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The city's risk manager has approved the insurance certificate, and the group has also requested a waiver of fees for the damaged deposits and pavilion rentals. Staff and I recommend approval of the request contingent upon compliance with the council's policy on uniform insurance requirements for special events.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. What's the wish of City Council?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
Sir, I move that the council approve the request for Gospel Life Church to use Civic Center Park and subject to their compliance with the requirements involving insurance, I would also waive the fees.
Thank you, sir. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bliss?
Support.
A motion was made by Councilman Corbett, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, to approve the request from Gospel Life Church to use Civic Center Park for their annual Easter egg hunt, subject to compliance regarding the uniform insurance requirements for special events, and also to waive the fees. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries. Now we'll go to reports. D1 is a report from the police chief regarding the medical marijuana operation grant. Mr. Myers?
The City of Madison Heights currently has a police officer assigned to the Oakland County Narcotics Enforcement Team, or NET. Oakland County has received the grant for reimbursement of overtime for officers who participate in medical marijuana investigations. The county will reimburse the city up to $7,144 annually for qualifying NET-related overtime as described in the grant agreement. The police department has been a part of this grant for the last 4 years and has received overtime reimbursement each year. Oakland County requires approval of the grant agreement through the adoption of the proposed resolution, which approves the agreement and authorizes the city manager and city clerk to sign on behalf of the city. Staff, the city attorney's office, and I recommend that council adopt the resolution.
Thank you. What's the wish of city council?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we approve the resolution and allow the city manager and clerk to sign the 2017 medical marijuana operation and oversight grant sub-recipient agreement on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Is there support?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Gettings?
support.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, seconded by Councilman Gettings to approve the resolution allowing the manager and city clerk to sign on behalf of the city regarding the 2017 medical marijuana operation grant agreement. Is there any discussion? Can I ask some softball questions of staff? Approximately how many cases do our officers participate, and are they participating in investigations within Madison Heights and outside of Madison Heights?
Yes, to try to answer the first question, I don't have an exact number of investigations pertaining to medical marijuana specifically, but there have been several investigations this year already within the city of Madison Heights.
Okay. And I'm not asking for addresses or specifics of an investigation, but are there any trends on where these investigations are leading us to? Neighborhoods, businesses, old factories, under the bridge? I mean, any trends?
The ones that have occurred in the city of Madison Heights have been within residential areas. I don't know about the ones that have occurred outside our city, but specifically in our city, it has been confined to the residential area.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Thank you, Mr. Haynes. Any other discussion from City Council? All right, we'll vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries. The next report is D2, also from the police chief. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor. As mentioned before, we have an officer assigned to the NET unit, and the county has also received a federal grant with which to reimburse the NET officer overtime for eligible activities pertaining to the high-intensity drug trafficking area grant. The county will reimburse the city up to $4,333 annually for qualifying overtime activities, and the county requires approval of the grant agreement through the adoption of the proposed resolution, which, like the first case, approves the agreement and authorizes the manager and clerk to sign on behalf of the city. Staff, the city attorney's office, and I recommend the council adopt the resolution.
Thank you. What's the wish of City Council?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
Sir, I move that the council adopt the 2017 high-density drug trafficking area grant agreement resolution and authorize the manager and city clerk to sign on behalf of the city. The amount, by the way, is $4,333.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Mr. Soltis?
support, please.
Thank you. The motion was made by Councilman Corbett, seconded by Councilman Soltis, to adopt the 2017 high-intensity drug trafficking area grant agreement resolution and authorize the city manager and city clerk to sign on behalf of the city to reimburse the city up to an amount of $4,333. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Mr. Soltis?
real quick. Chief, can I ask you a question? So the drug offenses pertaining to these two grants, is that on the crime mapping that we have?
It would not be in the city of Madison Heights crime mapping. These are incidents that are pulled specifically through the Oakland County Narcotics Enforcement Team, so they would be Oakland County numbers, so to speak, as far as investigations. The height of the high-intensity drug trafficking area grant has been used in our hotel area, which is where a lot of that grant money comes from, or is being used to
Thank you.
Eradicate.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say no. A motion carries. We'll skip B. There's nothing to discuss. Item F1 is a bid award / purchase regarding the CDBG. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor. Staff and I recommend that council award the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, funded yard services and lawn service program contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Zimmerman Lawn and Snow, at a unit price of $12 per lot, with an option to extend for 1 year upon availability of funds, and to authorize the city to proceed to the next lowest responsible bidders, Expert Lawn and Snow or Gratiot Landscaping, at unit pricing of $12.90 and $18 per lot, respectively, in the event that the contract with Zimmerman and/or Expert Lawn and Snow are canceled due to non-performance or other issues. And I would note that the budgeted amount is not to exceed $15,000 per program year.
Thank you. What's the wish of City Council?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
Sir, I move that the council award the CDBG funded yard services and agreement to the lowest responsible bidder, Zimmerman Lawn and Snow, at a unit price of $12 per lot, with an option to extend for 1 year, and to further authorize the administration to proceed to the next lowest bidder, Expert Lawn and Snow or Gratiot Landscaping, at unit pricing of $12.90 or $18 per lot, respectively, in the event the contract with Zimmerman and/or Expert Lawn and Snow are canceled due to non-performance or other issues. $15,000 is the budgeted amount within the CDBG budget.
Thank you. Is there support?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Gettings?
support.
All right, this is a mouthful. The motion was made by Councilman Corbett, seconded by Councilman Gettings, to award the Community Development Block Grant funded yard services, award it to Zimmerman Lawn and Snow at a unit price of $12 per lot, with an option to extend for 1 year upon availability of funds, and to authorize city administration to proceed to the next responsible bidder, Expert Lawn and Snow or Gratiot Landscaping, at unit prices of $12.90 or $18 per lot, respectively, in the event that contracts with Zimmerman and/or Expert Lawn are canceled due to non-performance. The amount is not to exceed $15,000 per year. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Nothing under items G or H. So could I please have a motion regarding the minutes from February 13?
Your Honor,
Mr. Corbett?
I move that the council adopt as printed the minutes from the February 13th meeting.
Very well. Is there a second?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bliss?
Support.
Thank you. Motion made by Councilman Corbett, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, to adopt as printed the meeting minutes from 2/13/2017. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. For appointments to boards and commissions, I see no applicants and no pending applications. Did City Council have any? All right, there's no executive session tonight, so before we adjourn in record time, I'll ask if there are any closing comments from the members of City Council, and we'll begin with Mr. Corbett.
In the spirit of the evening, I will be quick. Just a reminder that we keep office hours at the library from 1 to 3 if any resident would like to stop in, say hello, complain, compliment, or suggest is appropriate. I'm usually there, but again, if there's another member of council in particular that you would want to talk with, give the city manager's office a call and they'll make the appointment with you, with whoever you'd like to talk with. So that's all I have, sir. That's it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor. These are crazy times. I mean, somehow we managed to get a roughly 15-minute meeting so far, and yeah, no, I'm not going to ruin it.
Your time's up. Next.
and you have an Oscar winner that's not an Oscar winner. I mean, it's been a crazy 24 hours. But the one thing that's always consistent in this crazy world is how amazing our officers are. And I know, horrible segue, right? But my daughter was just playing at her school today. And one of our officers had come up to the elementary school who had business there and took some time, without knowing who my daughter is, knowing anything about my daughter, just this little girl on the schoolyard, and took some time to talk with her and get to know her. And she felt just on top of the world that this officer, who by the way was a woman, it was an amazing thing for my daughter to see, and she came home just so proud, and she had to tell me the second I walked in the door. She told me about how amazing this officer was, and I'm honestly floored in the fact that that's not the first time I've heard stories like that. And it's not the first time I've experienced them, and it's certainly not the first time I've heard them. Even a few years ago when I was walking door to door to be able to sit in this seat, all that I heard was about how amazing our police force is, and they just keep finding ways to up our game. And so tonight, when we check a couple of items off of their to-do list, it honestly feels like the least that we can do. And so I wanted to say thank you to Chief and to our entire police force for doing what you do, but doing it with heart, and showing the community that our police force is a police force of people, of neighbors, of members of the community, and that is something that I think we take for granted a lot in this crazy, crazy world. That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Gettings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to mention to anybody that might not know, we lost our first fire chief about 10 days ago, I believe. His name was Joe Salone, and he served the city in the 50s, 60s, and I believe early 70s. He was a great guy, lived in our neighborhood. Our wishes go out to his family, Carol Kaufman and Mike Kaufman, his son Joe, and Ellen. And if we could get a condolence resolution, Mr. Mayor, that
Your
would
Honor,
be
yes.
swell.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm working on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. City Attorney, Mr. Sherman.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I noticed we have some students in the audience tonight. Do we have anybody from Lamfair? No, Madison?
They're from out of town.
Lamfair, yeah. You know, we were noticing I noticed in the informationals that the Lamfair students against destructive decisions have a campaign now campaigning against speeding. They also had previous campaigns relating to underage drinking, seatbelt use, distracted driving, things of that nature. And I just want to give a little shout out to the Lamfair students in the SAD chapter relating to speeding. When we prosecute cases and young drivers come in and you talk to them about speeding 15 or 20 miles an hour over and accidents that it could cause, they look at you like, what are you talking about? I was just speeding. I didn't get in an accident. And when a young, inexperienced driver who doesn't have the reaction time of an adult is driving well in excess of the speed limit, that sets the table for something really bad to happen. The worst part of a police officer's job is knocking on parents' doors saying their child was in a serious accident. One of the worst things that they do. So I commend the SAD chapter. Keep up the good work, and it's very much needed. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. City Manager, Mr. Myers.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Thanks. City Clerk, Ms. Prince.
Nothing this evening?
Mr. Clark.
Nothing.
Mr. Soltis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the fourth year in a row, we're we're going to take the seniors up to Lansing again. Last 3 years have been wonderful. We get a bus, city bus, about 30, 40 seniors. We go up to the Capitol for Legislative Day. They get a free lunch. We take a tour of the Capitol. So that's coming up. I think it's going to be sometime in April. So once I get the exact date, I'll let everybody know, put the flyers out. Second, the Chamber of Commerce with the City of Madison Heights and MMA, which is Michigan Manufacturers Association. We're going to hold a meeting with the local manufacturers in Madison Heights, and MMA is going to come in and talk. We're going to talk about policy on the state level and local level. So I'm really looking forward to that. We'll get the details for that coming up soon. And third, I miss Margene. I'm here lonely on this side of the aisle, but hope she's doing well and a fast recovery. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any comments tonight, so thank you for joining us. The meeting's adjourned. Oh, is there any further business before this council? Hearing none, the meeting's adjourned. Good night.